Oh, I pushed the button, huh? Okay, I guess I'm live then. Nobody knows yet. 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10. I'm going to see how long before there's one watching. 15 seconds, 18 seconds, 20 seconds, 22. See who's first. Um, see this new thing I'm in here? I'll show that later. There we go. 30 seconds before the first viewer. 30 seconds. But yeah, I got a little, I got some notes, so I gotta, I got some things to go over, like um, just a little bit about the treasure, the trove. It's right under your nose, the nose thing, and the trove, and even the chest and that stuff. Those are, when he talks about the treasure chest, what's he talking about too? You know, because yep. How you doing, Jason? Or is it Sasha? We don't know. Okay, but like treasure is can be a lot of things. Your children can be a treasure. Your parents can be a treasure. Your just anything. You can drop a dime in the dirt, and that's a treasure for somebody who finds it. Uh, somebody finds it. Okay. Uh, if somebody finds it in the dirt, people go metal detecting. They call little belt buckles they find. They call that treasure. You know, they call even little broken pieces of glass treasure. Treasure can be just about anything. Uh, so I got written that silver, gold, jewels, relics, art, money, wealth, stored or hoarded or lost, or coins, and a collection of precious things, or a treasure chest, or even you find a shipwreck without a physical treasure in it. It's a treasure itself. His arrowheads are treasures. Archaeology's treasures. The things that people discover are treasures. National treasure, Book of Secrets. I found that one. I found the actual one. It's not at Mount Rushmore. It's down here. Um, so yeah, and then the poem says you're seeking his trove, and it's this trove of archaeology, and you're going to see it on the canyon walls all along the route that the poem follows. And if you're really good at reading that art you find in nature, that art in nature will tell you where the treasure is. And and the other thing, okay, so did I cover the trove? Oh, nature's treasure is the elephant. You can get an elephant bank. It's better to piggy bank, really, because the elephant's good luck and pigs aren't such good luck, I guess. So, but I looked up. If you go Terry Scant, search for nose. And I enjoyed the interaction with my mom, and the wrinkles in my nose indicated to her how much I liked or disliked each aroma. Is she talking about spices or something? You know, the wrinkles in his nose, not on his nose. They're in there. I don't think he meant to hair up his nose, but he's saying in the nose, not on the nose. So, and then when you think of elephants, are nature's treasure, and what is treasure? The treasure chest is also a trunk. you know. So there we go. This is a trunk, and you put the treasure inside the trunk. Get it? Okay, so elephants and treasure and He says, I felt like a crippled ant in an elephant parade, and I find elephants that are 200 feet tall. You see what I made? I got made this today. Yeah, it's got two. Here, I'll put it closer. These are supposed to be tusks or something. Um, and I put the two little black arrowheads and some. I can't find my little turquoise beads, and then take it apart and put the turquoise beads in it. But it's got that arrowhead that's dark on the back. Here, see. And I got these little adjusting slide things. So I can pull it up higher. There. So, yeah, that's one of the. See, I got these things here in the mail yesterday. See, I got a bunch of them. Got a bunch of them. They're little tusks. I got a dozen for like $8. You know. So, and I got the leather here to make the string. And the other neat thing I got my mailbox was full yesterday. I had to go empty it, because I got these too. Forrest Fenn knows what these are. Anybody know what they are? Who knows what they are? There's 5 people. Who knows what they are? But what I'm going to do with these is, let's see, which way do they go? That way, that way, that way. I'm going to, make a belt buckle. For them things. Nope. It's not petrified wood. Petrified, for sure. But, doesn't have any hair on it. That doesn't mean. Okay. So if I gave you a hint, a little hint on what it is, it's a dino Nope, it's not petrified dino poo. Put this on here. See? Put that on there. Put a tusk on there. But I really only need a little small piece of the tusk, because this came from a woolly mammoth. These are molar slices from a woolly mammoth. These were his teeth that he chewed the grass with and everything. So, yeah, those are mammoth molars. Slices of them. So, yeah, I got a collection because like, oh, I want that one too. You see them, yeah, I'll get that one. But you see this one, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it into a belt buckle, and where is it? Something like that. So see, it kind of looks like a mammoth, and this is the trunk here, and I'm gonna put a tusk here. I got a piece of tusk coming. It's just a little fragment, like the size of your end of your pinky, but it's enough to inlay a tusk in here, and it's going to cover up this kind of thing here. So this will be the trunk coming down, and then I'm going to put an arrowhead in there yeah, on the ribs. So I'll have a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. I don't have the Clovis point yet. This one's just a paleo. It's pretty nice, and it really looks. It's the same shape as the one that's at the Clovis stone, I call it. But yeah, that's mammoth teeth from a woolly mammoth. It's pretty neat. And I got this a little arrowhead. You know, yeah. And look, it's got figures on there, man. There's spirits in it. See? See that guy? The cowboy with the cowboy hat? Or some other guy? Yeah. So, um, but that's is it 7 or 7? A little over 7. It's a little over. That's 7 7 1/3 inches. You know. Oh, let's see. Is that the same side? Yeah, that's the same side. So this side has stuff. You can see figures on that side too. That's why I like this one, because the figures in it. But yeah, I want to get some nice straight sticks and you know, then I can carve the sticks and dress them and make some spears. Because I got this other one too. See this one up here. This is another. This one's 8. This one's 8.1 inches. It's a big spear point. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like these arrowheads. That was $16 for a 7-inch spearhead, and it's done real nice in that, you know. Look, there's a woman sitting there. And see, Forrest Fenn, he picks up a rock and shows it to Suzanne Summers and says, "Look, it's Georgia O'Keeffe." You know? So, no hunting today, maybe. Go mushroom picking. That's what you're doing? I'm going hunting. Weather's looking gloomy yet, so I want to go look at this one spot at night, too. I got one of them headlights with 3 lights on it coming. I'm going to use that for night search and bring camera. Hopefully it lights up everything enough. So, okay, about the nose thing. The elephant trunk is a trunk. A treasure chest is a trunk. When you put the gold and silver and doubloons into the trunk, then it's a treasure chest. But all a treasure chest is a trunk, you know. So if you're looking for the trunk, you're looking for the mammoth trunk. And he says if you search for nose, he makes a lot of references to his nose. And Eric Sloan, you know, do the flip. You know, flipping his thumb off his nose or something. I mean, I have to watch his video, see if Forrest does any, you know, any of that, you know, hitting the nose. The nose is the trunk of the elephant, of the mammoth. So, yeah, it'll show you these things up close. These are they're fake ivory, but they're nice and they're polished nice and look like little tusks. And if you cut them short and stuff, you can make some vampire teeth. Do
Too much fun. Where is it? Where's the one that's coming? There it is. I'll get it. There.
We got one. There we go. We can do this here. Let's see. There we go. Yep. Or I can have horns, right? Yeah, little horns. Yeah, you can put them on your hat. I don't know. I got a few of these. Let me give each of the grandkids one. The girls, at least. Ace might stick it in his mouth and choke on it. Oh, forget that. So yeah, I got that big old arrowhead. Okay, so get back to the noses. Yeah, been watching too much RF Hecky. Yeah, getting sidetracked. No hunting today. Maybe greetings. Hey, Kramer. Yeah, that must have been a hell of a name to go through the military with. After MASH, huh? Yeah. Hey, good to see you, David. Yeah, you know who my ancestors were, don't you, David? The guy, Robert Rogers. He's my fifth great granduncle. James Rogers is my fifth great grandfather. Him and Ethan Allen are my fifth great grandfathers. My fourth great grandparents are Mary Ann Allen and third James Rogers. The first James Rogers was Robert Rogers' father was mistaken for a bear. He's wearing a bear coat, a bear hat, bear gloves, and he's going over to visit his friend. Yeah, he was going over to visit his friend Ebenezer Ayer, who just showed up for hunting season. And Ebenezer mistaked him for a bear coming through the woods and shot him, and then carried him back home. It was a couple miles. He carried him home, and he died there, with his family. That's Robert Rogers' father, James Rogers. They had come to America in 1726, settled in, were part of the David McGregor Presbyterians came over, and they wouldn't let them live in Massachusetts. You have to go up there and live in New Hampshire. We don't want Presbyterians here, So, and they sent the Jews and the Muslims to Rhode Island, and Connecticut was like a fine cask of whiskey with a tap at either end. And that's it. I republished his book, A Concise Account of North America. So, so Cambridge, UK, whiskey, drinking love, mariners, sorry, mammoth. What? Sorry, mammoths go. Memories, drinking love, memories. Oh, yeah, everybody loves memories. Yeah. Who doesn't like memories? Well, you see, when I went to go get my mail, and on the way there, I gotta get away from this because just you drive through and there's all the wow, I didn't see that one. You can't do much sightseeing you shouldn't be doing while you're going through there. Yeah, because then you'll end up where you're going. But I was coming along, and where Moses is, and then there's below Moses is a big elephant head that curves down like this, and then I seen the trunk going around the hill, And as I went down the road, I could see the trunk coming down the hill and coming down toward the creek, and the end of the elephant trunk there. That's the end of the nose. Eric Sloan, thumbing his nose. He called it. What's we gotta look up thumbing the nose, but there's a lot of reference on Terry Scant to the nose. I'm constantly amazed at the strength and resilience of women who come nose to nose with tough choices. Nose to nose with tough choices. I don't know. That tough choices, mammoth decisions. There we go. Okay. So nose to nose, and a nose is a trunk, which is a treasure chest. A treasure chest is a trunk full of treasure. So you just put the treasure, it makes it a treasure chest. It's no longer a trunk, but it's actually just a trunk. So if the treasure's in the trunk, and it's the treasure's in the nose, okay. I removed the pine needles that populated the eye sockets and nose cavity. He's talking about a buffalo with the arrowhead in the eye socket. So he's talking about, getting that debris, the pine needles and all that. So these are rock sculptures, and there are little holes and stuff that collect pine needles and stuff. And he says to bring some gloves. Well, why do you want to? Because you're going to be, maybe brushing some volcanic rock or brushing away pine needles. Just, cleaning the surface off. You don't need a shovel, but you'll need gloves. Speaking of shovels, I did a selfie with Smokey the Bear. They got a new Smokey the Bear out here, and that wasn't there. That's new. I gotta go around there and see what that. I knew it was Smokey because I was seeing the backside, and it was his profile. I profiled Smokey the Bear, and Homer Brown. Smokey the Bear is Mr. Brown. Okay. Smokey the Bear is new. So if you try Smokey the Bear wasn't there in 2010. So but I did a selfie with Smokey the Bear. Okay. So he clears the eyes and nose cavities. Nose also is part of the word diagnosed. As in diagnosed with cancer. Diagonal nose. The diagnosis is the nose, or who knows, So if you figure it out, the diagnosis is going to be up his nose. I saw my alternative as being a hospital bed that would offer a temporary postponement with a hose in my nose, tubes down my throat, and needles in my arm. And with friends and relatives watching and crying, that was the last thing I wanted. So he's talking about, his choice dying from cancer or what. Okay, and then he's talking about, and this is the same one with he talks about the elephant parade. This is the same story. It's never the part. He's talking about. Let's see if I can find where, because it's right near here. I recognize it. But he's talking to a general, right? About flying the plane. He told me I'd go fly that plane or whatever. I think you should come out here. Most of my cockiness went south. And I suddenly, it's right there, felt like a crippled ant in an elephant parade. The general's huge black mustache startled me because it separated his nose from his mouth in such a commanding way. His nose separated. If you elephant, their mouth is going, and the nose comes down through it. So he thought that separate. So I'm looking at the bottom of the nose of the elephant, where the elephant would have a mustache. He must be a woolly mammoth. Yeah. And did you see anybody's new? This is I got two of these. They're mammoth teeth. These are from a woolly mammoth. They're the molars of a woolly mammoth slices, and I'm gonna get a plate of and make a belt buckle with the. It's gonna be a mammoth looking shape with a piece of mammoth tusk in there, and a little Clovis point I'm gonna put in there to make a belt buckle with a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth, like the rock sculpture I found, except that I'm gonna have it on put it on a belt buckle. I hope I get it done and show it to Forrest sometime. I bet he'd trade something like that for his belt buckle. Once a while, find mammoth teeth. Yeah, St. Augustine. They're huge. Yeah, yeah. These are just some slices. These are they came from China, and because they're over a certain age and stuff, they're allowed to sell them internationally and stuff. But because you can't like the piece of mammoth tooth I'm getting because it's over 100 years old and stuff. That it is 20,000 years old. Who knows? But because it's that old, they're allowed to. It's considered like gems and stuff. But yeah, I made that. Oh, yeah. You see the black arrowheads in between the teeth with that other arrowhead there. Yeah. Okay, let's go down the list of the nose. Okay, so the general's huge black mustache startled me because it separated his nose from his mouth in such a commanding way. That mustache is a important. Must have made it's behind some grass hanging down over it, like little gold box right there. I'm gonna put a gold when I get. I'll put one of the nuggets right in there. Just put a post and put a self tapper in there and glue a nugget to it. Yeah. Anybody ever do that? Screw a tooth. If you're brave. George Washington had wood teeth. Diagnosed shows up again. He's talking about diagnosed nose. Okay. Her face looked unsympathetic, and her nose pointed toward the 17th century wooden door to my office, beside which one must pass to exit. And she stood. The sensitive Mr. Grant slightly followed in close trail. Neither of them even said goodbye. So, right there, he's giving you some instructions. So, you find the nose, the formation with some nose. Maybe it's an elephant nose, maybe it's a human nose formation. Both of them are out there. So, and it's pointing toward a wooden door, or maybe a piece of wood, a wooden panel laying there on top of it. Maybe there's a hole with a piece of wood laying over the top of it. I don't know. If you cover something that's not buried, there could have been a cabinet door he put laid on top of it. Dug a hole, just put a panel on top of it, and you just think that's trash. Uh-huh. Yeah, the one thing you're out there searching and it's like, oh man, somebody left. No, I don't think he put it where somebody would go and deposit their waste and toilet paper in the forest. It's not where. I hope it's not where somebody went and poop on top of it. That'd be terrible. You know, I said, oh no, I'm not even gonna check. You know, but when I was searching day before yesterday, I was in the woods, Jack, and there were I seen like the form where the log was laying, and somebody had moved it over about a foot, and I saw some holes that were looked like they were square holes freshly dug and things like that. You know, probably somebody digging up with a metal detector and digging up trash. I don't know, but that's the spot I saw. Is because I have some stuff I don't say. You know, there's yeah, there's some. If you knew, it'd take you right to the 200-foot area, like the 200. When you think about the 200-foot area, if you were going through there and you stopped to take pictures because of something that's wow, look within 200 feet of there or 500 feet. You know, maybe the person did go off one direction or the other from there and got closer than the 500 feet. But the 500 feet could be just driving by. The 200 feet is maybe somebody that stopped, pulled in the parking lot, or whatever. And, you know, so there's and also that 200 500 thing, it was long before I was on the solve I'm on now, and so I could be on the same solve as those people were, and you know, so anything you know, that was 2013. He said that stuff, and I was just or 2013 or 14, and I was just getting started then, and I wasn't even on my area till August of 15. Anything worth the cold and brave, and the wood meant shiver me timbers. Well, another thing worth the cold is when you're in the aspens in the summer. The aspens are full of leaves, and your your view of things is impaired. But in the fall, when it starts getting cold, the leaves are falling off the aspens, and that should be happening soon. They're still pretty green, but the leaves will fall off the aspens, and then you'll be able to see the rock structures through them and all that. My generator just died, but I got things charged up. Got the computer to 51%, but the batteries are charged, and so the computer's still charging. And I can, my solar is out. I got a new solar controller coming Tuesday, and so until Tuesday, I gotta run the generator every few hours to. Hi, Jack. What do you want? Huh? Huh? What do you want? Really? Really? Did you see the treasure? Did you see the treasure, Jack? Huh? Let me show you something else. Grab the phone. He puts his paw in my hand. Okay. I'll show you something else. I did this yesterday. So, boop. Yeah, put that on. That's cool. Now you're really good at it if you see more than one face. You see the face here. There's a face here. This is a face. This is a face. See, this guy's got his tongue coming out. See? A big face in the middle. The guy up there. The guy up there. And there's a little thing up in there. But yeah, I put that on when the sun was going down last night. And you see the face in the white area. That's the face, the white area. There's another one on top. It's just, stop it, Jack. Let's see. There's figures laying down in here. And then you see the elephant trunk coming down. There's the end of his trunk. There's another elephant here. And the trunk coming down. The two trunks. These are the trunks going up. And you see the face up in this face. And there's things in her eye, people in her eyes, an eagle. But yeah, that's, you see that, you know it's me. That's going to hypnotize people driving behind me. You know? So. Yeah, people go, that thing's freaking me out. I don't want to be behind that. So, whatever. Well, good stream, lots of good info. Hell, I got to get back in there and finish with the noses thing. People will stay behind you just to see. I mean, yeah, and they'll be looking at that and they'll drive off the road. I got to get out from behind him so I don't crash. Yeah. I did the one, and I see. Oh, I did that one thing on the back there, and then I want to cover the whole RV with them sometime. You know, so you can do them one at a time, get one at a time, and eventually cover the whole RV. I guess. I learned about putting it on and stuff, and what's necessary and what's not, and it goes on pretty easy, and it pulls back off, and you can pull it up, and you can. And I use a squeegee. I use my hands. You know, I had my hands soapy water and just and I put soapy water on to put it on at first, but I think water alone with very little soap would do. I don't know if I use too much soap or what, but it's sticking on there good so far. Hopefully, if it starts peeling up in a corner, I'll get some spray glue, mask it off, get some spray glue, and then stick it back on there. Okay, back to the noses and Forrest, you know, because he had wrinkles in his nose, and Eric Sloan thumb in his nose. Okay, her face looked unsympathetic as her nose pointed toward the set. We covered that one. So you're looking for a figure with a nose pointing to some wood door or something, or maybe a pile of wood. I don't know. There are places in the creek and river where the wood gets like a log jam in a little cove and stuff, and those kind of stay there for many years. There are mammoth figures in the creek that have been there for 14,000 years, and that creek hasn't, you know, channeled out and made in 14,000 years. That creek is pretty close to the same as it was then. Yep. Yeah, I've got quite a bit figured on this. Get my battery charged. I'm going to take a walk over here and show you this little canyon here. This is the house of the whole, or the physical graffiti canyon. Like, I don't know, what is it? Led Zeppelin, there's a brick building and there's all the windows and stuff. This one canyon wall's like got windows and it looks like Hollywood Squares. It's and there's faces in the different windows and stuff. And then at the bottom where there's a crack, you can see that they had put rocks and put a wall across to because the thing had one time been, you know, they finished the surfaces and put stucco on stuff, and you can see where well, part of the covering they had there had fallen away, but there was still plenty covering that crack in the wall that was obviously intentionally done. Uh, um, I see concrete pours, straight lines in between the concrete pours, and where the one ledge comes over to the other one into about an inch or two above the other concrete pours, like straight up, like they had a form there holding this side, and they took that out, and then they poured the other concrete, and there's still a flat surface against the other from the other concrete pour. You know, I don't know what they were mixing all their how they broke. They had mammoths to do things. They could have had some big stone wheels and the mammoths turning like a grist mill thing with big stone rollers, and that's how they made the. Maybe that's how they made the old neckheads, rolling them and crushing smaller rocks, to make concrete or I don't know. I don't know what they did, but there's different kinds of stuff. There's stuff that's like plaster, and there's stuff that's like stucco, and I got a piece. This is the piece. See this out. You can see maybe this outside coat. This is like a floor or plaster wall surface here, and so this is just a chip off of it. But this is a stucco that's under it, and they had a finished surface on the top, and it's perfectly flat. If I show you the side, let's see. Yeah, it's just perfectly flat and smooth, and it was part of a bigger one, but it was just chipped off the. So I only took a little sample, so I want to give that to the professor. Let's see what he says. Okay, back to the nose. Okay, get away from the 17th century door. Okay. Wow. Okay, here's a hint to Pagosa Springs, too, and talking about the nose. One of the ways my father used to discipline me was to make me ingest a teaspoon of castor oil. It was a very effective deterrent. And the punishment I hated the most, he saved it for when I did something really bad, like forge his signature on my report cards. Forge his own father's signature on his report cards. I don't think he can get away with that because I'm sure he looked at it when he signed it. But the smell of castor oil, right? The smell was so terrible. I wasn't allowed to hold my nose while it was being dispensed. But you can't smell while you are holding your breath. So I could do that and no one knew. So he held his breath when he swallowed the gas so he wouldn't smell it. Okay, Pagosa means smells bad. Pagosa Springs smells bad. and Pagosa means smelly water or something like that. Water that smells bad. Boy, some of the things you hear climbing up the mountain sound like a helicopter, but it's not. Oh, it's It's a bunch of motorcycles. Yeah. I was when I went into the go to the post office yesterday. I'm going through the tunnel, and there's an idiot on his Harley riding right down the double yellow line. Why do motorcyclists want to be on that yellow line? You know, it's a death wish. It's stupid. You know, those are the guys you read about got killed in an accident. You know, uh, if anything, you stay over kind of to the right. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, he's alive. You heard him? Oh, Togo, Togo, you gonna bark? Bark, Togo. No, you gonna whistle? Call the dogs. No, he ain't gonna do it. He doesn't perform. He's on strike. He flew the coop. Yeah. So yeah, the smell was terrible, and I wasn't allowed to hold my nose while it was being dispensed. I just watched Eric Johnson's videos, and he mentioned something about smell too, having to do with something else in the poem, you know. But smell, and yeah, smell. There are some hints of Pagosa Springs is a smelly hint. Because Pagosa's kind of pungent Pagos. I don't know. So that one, and diagnosed comes up again. After the cowboy roped a cat, he's talking about the cowboy that came by, I guess. Or no, this is a. It was my job to run up and throw the poor thing on its side. I think every one of those critters kicked me in the nose. So all these cows, he was wrestling cows or calves maybe, and they all kicked him in the nose. He got a crooked. My nose ain't perfect straight. No, that's far from perfect straight. It I had it. They operated on it, man. They put a chisel up against the bone right there, and crack that. They put one up there, crack that. They put one in through here, crack that. They run one through the eyebrow here and crack it there. And then they put one right across through the middle there and they crack it. And then they straighten it up and all that. And then you go home and you this was 38 years ago. You go home and your wife rolls over at night and clubs you in the nose. So if you ever get nose surgery or any kind of personal surgery like a vasectomy or anything, don't sleep with your wife until things are healed. They'll roll over and they'll knee you, boom, and they'll club you in the nose if you had nose surgery. Anywhere you had an operation, they're going to roll over and they're going to hit you. 38 years ago when they were using leeches. And leeches, yeah, I don't know, for nose surgery or for hemorrhoid leeches, butt worms. Oh yeah, hey, you know when Rogers and the Rangers they went up to raid the Abenaki village and stuff, and they were coming back. In the movie, there's a guy who's grabbing in his duffel bag. He's reaching in there, and Rogers wants to know what you got there, and he looked at it was an Indian's head. It was a Abenaki head in there, and the guy was eating the brains. Right, this is in the movie, and the guy runs and jumps off the cliff. Because he went nuts. He didn't run and jump off the cliff, but later in life the guy did go nuts because eating somebody's brain. It's got to work on your mentality the rest of your life. But the French that were chasing them after the raid, They caught a few of them, and they had their head, and they were playing like soccer with the heads of the rangers, that they had captured, and half of the guys starved trying to make it back. So, did you find the treasure? No, I got another. The area, I people don't realize how vast the area is. And you got like a 6 mile stretch that it can be anywhere in this 6 mile stretch because the signs are littered. He sprinkled them all over. His hints are sprinkled throughout the forest, just like hints are sprinkled throughout the book. Hints are sprinkled throughout the Rocky Mountains. and, and the description of the everything in the Lewis and Clark chapter, it's the same description of being in that place. More interesting than the. I'm banned. If anybody trying to message me on Facebook, I'm still in Facebook jail till early Sunday morning. So the rest of the day, really all tomorrow, and it should be about 2, 3 in the morning. I should be released from Facebook jail for my Planet of the Apes parody on the gypsies. It was considered hate speech. So dumb, dumb, dumb. Oh yeah, what I did. I'll show you what I did. Yeah. Well, Twitter is kind of hard to follow things. So that, because of this thing, I got banned from Facebook for 3 days for hate speech. I can't even message my own son, you know? And so the first one at Think D, that's Mark Zuckerberg. And I called him a Nazi for sentencing people to Facebook jail when they haven't even reviewed the content that they're calling hate speech. And so I tagged the real Donald Trump on there too, you know. And actually, somebody brought it up. What Facebook and them are doing is they're silencing their political opposition, which is influencing the elections, and so Zuckerberg and these CEOs for these corporations are going to go to federal prison for screwing with the elections and trying to twist public opinion in their favor. They're going to go to prison for it. Maybe they did. I don't know. But they ain't flagged it on Twitter, and I'm putting it on YouTube. Yeah, there's a battle for the planet of the gypsy apes. Yeah, it's derogatory toward gypsies. Yeah, very derogatory toward gypsies and snowflakes. Yeah, I just take a few pictures and put them together and put a little comment on there, and they call the like I was saying, let's go kill all the. I didn't say anything like that. No, it's like the Planet of the Apes. Okay, back to Terry Scant the nose discussion. Tubes down the nose, machines. Diagnosed again. Diagnosed. I know there was some more nose down here. I'm about halfway down. Okay. I wanted to say something that was atrocious to some people would jump all over me and I could get some publicity and sell some books. So I said the Indians at Taos Pueblo practice ideology like the Catholics. I thought that was a I thought that was a terrible thing to say, and I was ready to take it in the nose. Nobody even said a word, and I said that the first artist that painted the tiles was Charles Craig, but it wasn't much of an artist. Okay, no. See that sentence didn't make wasn't much of an artist, but it was. But I think he wasn't much of an artist. It didn't fit. I think that's a misprint. Um, Nobody ever said a word. I mean, I was really disappointed that I got with those things, but I enjoy doing those things. He enjoys injecting a little conflict, something that might get somebody's attention or stirring up a little. uh, I was diagnosed with everybody. Yep, diagnosed again. That's cancer story. Diagnosed. It's not has nose in it, but it's not really what I'm talking about here. Okay, Fenn. I don't think when I'm gone, my name will be nothing but an asterisk in a book. I don't think about those things. You can't you can't not have a legacy, but that's not something that I aspire to have, a big legacy. If you want to say something about me, say it now so I can punch you in the nose. Yeah, or laugh. You know, there's some things you can joke about, some things you don't joke about. Um, but if you have imagination and guts, where is it? Imagination, and you're willing to work, just back away because I'm backing up to get a running start at you. And if you think I am being tough, then I wear that on my sleeve. I love that. If somebody hits you in the nose, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going on. Okay. Uh, I said I waved it. Okay. Oh, this is a cowboy. I waved at him. He got off his horse, walked over to me, and hit me just as hard as he could. He hit me in the jaw, knocked me down, bloodied my nose, and got on his horse and rode off. Bloodied his nose. Is bloody and muddy the same? He talks about a person coming back all muddy. Is blood and mud? Good, they rhyme. Blood and mud. And those things that history has never written, that a person would stop and think or have it in him in the nose because of something he turned over with a towel. And okay, I read it, and there's with the apostrophe, so things that history has never written, that if a person would stop and think or have it in him in the nose because of something he turned over with a towel. I'm wondering if that nose is translation error and the no, in the know. He's in the know. Yeah, I think that's not nose. That's in the know. And if you know it's in the nose, yeah, it's in what you know. It's in the nose if you have imagination. Most of them taught him in the most of them touch him on the nose. He's talking about George Washington. You know, the kids coming in. Most of them touch him on the nose. Most of them touch him on the nose. Is he pointing to the place where the treasure is? It's in a nose somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So he's talking about Eric Sloan. Eric, sign that. I want to keep that. He's talking about the napkin Eric Sloan at the restaurant. I want to keep Doodle he did. So I want to keep that. So sometimes he'd sign his name backwards. He could sign his name upside down and backwards. So right there, he's not. A lot of these formation, the things you see there, people sideways, upside down, backwards. There's people hanging up. There's dinosaurs upside down, hanging from elephant trunk upside down. There's an elephant carrying two dead dinosaurs. Eric signed that. I want to keep that. So sometimes he'd sign his name backward. He could sign his name upside down and backwards. Just give me the nana. He give me the nana gestures. He give me the nana. I got a bunch of those things. I got a bunch of those. Thumb in the nose. I don't know. Thumb in the nose means something different though. Yeah, I got a bunch of those. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I bet he could raise some money auctioning off some of them napkins, huh? Uh, I was diagnosed again, cancer. So we're looking for nose. Oop, I saw it. Where was that yellow streak? Oh, I didn't. Maybe it was just my eye. I saw the yellow flash. Diagnosed. 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 I think that's it. All the way. One more. There. Nope. It's diagnosed. Diagnosed. Nope. That was it. That was all the places I found nose. So nose, and a mammoth nose is the trunk. The trunk is a chest. Found the chest. You found the trunk. Yeah. Any pirate treasure, they put the treasure in a trunk, and then it's a treasure chest. The reason they call the trunk of your car the trunk is because in the old first cars, they physically had a trunk, a box, a chest or trunk on the back of the car, with a lid on it. It was like the trunk in the attic or something. But they had one on the back of the car. That was the first trunk. It was just a box to carry your things in on the back of the car, and then they made that part of the car and body around it. Some of them had seats in it. Oh, it's Friday. Yeah, I think it's Friday. I've got I got 3 more days now. Saturday, Sunday, no, 4 more days before my solar controller comes in, so that I have solar power. I'm running on generator and got enough gas. But treasure chest is a trunk. Trunks are on elephants. Elephants are nature's treasure. Forrest said he wanted to find a Clovis point in the ribs of a mammoth. And anybody new ain't seen it, watching, I was showing off my, these are woolly mammoth tusk. or not tusk, teeth. These are from the molars of a woolly mammoth, and I'm gonna make a belt buckle. King. Oh, this one's the which one's the head? One of them's the head. One of them's the tail. But both of them are can be. Um, I could put the arrowhead in the middle and have a mammoth head on either side. I don't know. What should I do? Arrowhead in the middle with the mammoth head on either side, or what? Yeah, those and I got this one came. It's like the Star Wars, the starship, the Emperor ship. It's huge. It's thick too. Um, it's probably a half inch thick, and it's 2 inch, almost 2 inches wide, 7 1/3 inches long. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get me some. I got to make a spear, and then I got to get me some buffalo fur with the long fur from the mane of the buffalo, and I got to make me a Fred Flintstone costume for Halloween. I make like a Fred Flintstone buffalo toga. Yeah. Maybe I have to have the whole Fred Flintstone horn hat and all that too, like he's going to the lodge. Eh, eh. The other thing, yeah, I talked to Sean, and I guess so everything's settled there. Uh, and my hatchet's over on my property. I'd take it out and bury it for you. But some didn't see I made this today. Let's get these. These are fake ivory, but I'm gonna get some other. I got some little turquoise beads somewhere here. I gotta find them and put them on there. Oh, where the hell they are? I probably put them in a little jewel box. I got a few of them, little ones. I got little ones with eagles on them, and but I don't know where they went. Togo, what are you doing? You get one of them flies that sound like an F-100. Yeah, tape it up because you hit things and it cracks. But usually, if you just push the little button on here, that's how they came up with them electronic ones. Because they realized if you got this little thing and you push just the sound, whoop, got one, just the sound of the electronics charging up drives the insects away. Where is he? Just wave it. Oh, did I get him? There he went. He's heading for the door. No, he's flying about that high, so he comes by, I'll get him. Hit something. I think he went out the door. But he keeps coming back in. Mississippi. Yeah, they got some bloodsuckers down. I've seen fangs on the flies in Kentucky. Seen flies there, man. They're like butterflies. I got a bone spur in that shoulder that's pinching between two bones. It's pinching my bicep tendon. Got a bone spur in there impinging it. And, and and I've asked my VA doctor several times, I need to see orthopedic for it. No, no. Oh, it's degenerative. It's because you're getting old. We don't take care of old people anymore. You know? If you just come over the border, we could help you. But you're a veteran, so we can't help you. Yeah. The VA is useless. The deep state's still deeply embedded in the VA. It's a corrupt organization. They have all the veterans they're supposed to be taken care of, and all they care about is getting that money. They don't care about taking care of the veterans at all. And that's the truth. They don't give, you know. I got a problem. This shoulder's been needing, and this one, this last week's been bothering me. You know, they never finished with my ankles. They did one and left the other one. Apes are offended about the apes, about the Planet of the Apes thing. They call it. Somebody flagged it as hate speech. I'm suggesting to Facebook that when somebody makes a false claim and puts you in Facebook jail, when Facebook finally reviews it 3 months later and they go, oh, we found this wasn't hate speech, so we took away your. I've gotten like three of those. Oh, we found that this isn't hate speech, you know, and and so they take your strikes away, but the thing is they put you in Facebook jail before there's any review of the claim by some trolling user on Facebook. You know, it's like, so I posted on Twitter about it. Yeah. Show you again. I showed it earlier, but some weren't here. Uh, and Fink, FINKD, that's Zuckerberg. Yeah. Canadian flies are those aren't flies, those are mosquitoes in Canada. Those are mosquitoes up there. They're the size of Kentucky horse flies. Boy, that part of my phone about burned my finger. That must be where the antenna is. And other things, yeah. Yeah, if you want to pop your popcorn, put it up there, up the end by the phone, by the camera on the Samsung phone, the top of the phone. Man, it about burned my finger. Cool, I think it's just very meant you for anything of humor. Yeah. On my Facebook group, there was several people got, well, lurkers are suspect because I don't know what their thoughts are. They're just hanging there, reading the stuff, not telling you if they're with you or not. You've been in the group for 3 months and they'd never make a comment, never like anything, nothing. They're lurkers, and so I go through and I go, this guy's been here how long? And he's never made a comment, never made a like. Later, guy, if don't be a member of my group if you don't like some of my comments or some of my input. I don't like lurkers. It's like people looking in through your bathroom like a pee. Yeah, if you're a member of a group, participate in the group, because if you're not participating, you might get thrown out for being a peeping tom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. About 20 people. I just Oh, oh yeah, that person could be a snowflake and be offended by it. So they might have been the one that, because they don't tell you who did, and so by not telling you who did, you take out some people who were innocent actually, but they were still lurkers, and I don't like lurkers. You know, it's like getting up in the morning and finding somebody who was under your bed all night. You know, what the hell are you doing there? You know, get the fuck out of here. Um, does this thing have the label on it? No, because this is a Black and Decker. I think I got a Tractor Supply, good one. You know, industrial for the horse barn. 265 wide. I don't use space. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'll probably stop using it. But I got so much on there, you know, and if you find the treasure, you want to have all that, you know, for the movie, so they can make the movie more accurate, you know. So yeah, it's. I think Facebook's going to be taking over. I think the government's going to put a lot of regulation on these social media companies that are able to influence the entire population with their political opinion. You know, you got to let everybody talk. You got to let everybody say what they have to say. You can't be closing people off and pretending that you know it's load of Bo Peep land. You know, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, you know, both me and Sean, we both flipped. He's flipped over to my side, right? I flipped over to no. I don't go with the pump. I don't do the pure thing, you know. I'm a Fenn purist. Anything Fenn goes. Yeah, he's flipped. So what else? I went over the treasures, you know, then the trove. He says, "My trove for all to seek." You're seeking the trove. Yeah. Um, I told him he needs to come out here, and I can show him. Oh, I'll show him the entire thing, how it all works, and and I'm in this zone that's uh, maybe 2 miles by 1,000 feet, 1,000 feet by 2 miles. You know, 500 feet either side for 2 miles. And, but the symbols are all over. So, um, yeah. Hey, David, are the monkeys okay? And that parrot at the bar over there by the Monkey Island. The you got Monkey Island there in your right there by your neighborhood. You know, you got the Monkey Island, and there's that old bar on the river that you could pull up, dock your boat. It was a little bar, and they had a parrot that had shown up there. And he'd been there for 30 years or whatever. But feed the parrot some peanuts, and then tell the parrot you have to talk for this one. And I told her, I did that to the parrot. And the parrot goes, "Give me the damn peanut, motherfucker." And I went and told my friends at the bar what the parrot said, and then they pointed to the jar. He put a quarter in if you swear. Yeah, me and my friends went there, partied one weekend. We rented a pontoon boat and headed out. Tried to go to the river, but we bent the prop on it, pissed them off, and Yeah, there's a little monkey island there. There's a little island with monkeys on it there in almost Asa River. And we went snorkeling and stuff up by the where the manatees are. Snorkel with the manatees and how the manatees doing with that red tide. I already killed a bunch of them. Yeah, I can't stand it. I was an outside plant man or outside plant engineer for Time Warner for Orlando and all the way to Winter Haven was where the Tampa network took over. But we had Cape Canaveral and Daytona and all that was my region, and I managed all the fiber optic network for Time Warner Telecom there. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you got that disclaimer. And I went over to, I watched their show and I was watching the chat and I go, there's only like four people here chatting. Either they blocked everybody or they run everybody off and they ain't got nobody chatting in their room because people are afraid that they'll get blocked for giving a hint that's on the other outside his fence. Yeah. Hey, Paul. Yeah, yeah. Paul, you brought up you were talking about the omegas and that McCall brought. No, I brought up the omegas many times. The omegas are the mammoths and the Moses. There's two giant mammoths and their trunks coming down here, right? Their heads butt together here, and there's a crack in between them. And Moses is on a little mammoth down here, standing there parting the Rocky Mountains. You know. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay. So, I hit the button. Where's the pen? Pen for a pointer. There we go. See, here's Omega, and Moses is right in there. He's standing right in between. See, the elephant and his trunk comes down and curls over here. This other elephant here. But below them, this is another big mammoth here below them, and its trunk comes and curls around the mountain. And so I'm going to go look in the trunk for the treasure chest. Trunk is a chest, though. A trunk and a chest are the same thing. So yeah, Moses is right here. This is Moses. That's not clear. I got a clear picture of him, of course. This is somebody's ass bending over into the canyon, but there's two couple faces on there too. But it's somebody's butt bending over into the crack here. This is Moses parting the Rocky Mountains. Let me see. I got a Moses folder. Beep. Moses. There we go. Oh yeah, he downloaded some new Moses. There's Moses parting the Rocky Mountains. Standing on. This is a mammoth. See the trunk comes down. And there's people on the back of the mammoth here, and there's people down below. But this is Moses standing on the mammoth, parting the Rocky Mountains. I got other. Yeah, this one there. And you see there's people climbing up. This guy behind him. See the nose and head, and that's our Moses. It's the same as the Moses that Forrest Fenn has, the wooden one that Leo Salazar carved. And he said Leo Salazar was some kind of religious, omnipotent religious guru. And then years later, he says the success is an omnipotent guru. And so Moses knew, or Leo Salazar knew where Moses was. That's why he called Leo the omnipotent religious guru. They applied some art to it to make some artsy renderings of it. I think this is before the art applied. This is a actual picture, just the saturation and shadows and all that, contrast. But look, see this guy. Look at this head here. This guy. See his forehead and his nose. The nose pointed to the wooden door. Which nose? I mean, there's thousands. He says there's 10 billion blazes. Each one of these is a blaze. Moses is a blaze because he said, Leo Salazar says, that's where Moses received the 10 commandments. At the burning bush, at the blaze. Okay, and if he's at the burning bush, what's he do? He hops down onto this elephant trunk and slides down the fire escape. So I'm going to go where Moses would escape sliding down this big elephant trunk fire escape. It's my clue, and it's at the end of the end of the nose of that elephant. Yeah. I everybody knows I don't. My area is correct, and New Mexico doesn't mean as New Mexico, Montana, Wyoming don't mean anything to me. You see this guy? Look at this guy. See the nose and see his eye right there, his mouth. There's oh yeah. he's he's creating the Grand Canyon. Oh no, he's parting the ocean. Okay. There's Moses in the burning bush. These are anime GIFs, but the computer ain't playing it. And so, see, this is here. Moses is there. And he's right here. That's a raw picture. That's the man. That's the man. That's Moses. And look at the little hands. Just the little hands, just like Leo Salazar carves on all his fingers. Have these little hands. Well, I just I don't know. I don't. Everybody knows, they ask me about another place. It's like I know too much to think it'd be anywhere else. Not drinking. No, I could drink if I wanted to. Okay, that's enough Moses, huh? Jack, what are you doing? Okay, let's switch around. See what Jack wants. I think he's got his cable hung up somewhere. Oh, Paul, thanks for the show. Yeah. So Moses is standing there in between the two omegas, and an omega came from the mammoths. They're megafauna. What do you want? What do you want? Huh? Oh, what do you want? You're crazy, dog. Go outside. he was actually hooked up to something inside the RV. Yeah, so and let's go back. I'll take you back out and we'll go look at my. Did you see the? Some of you maybe not have been here when I showed the back of my RV. Yeah, I put that on yesterday. I had to take off the Winnebago labels and and this figure here is maybe 100 feet from Moses. Is over to the right of this figure. That's where Moses is. I come clean up my scrapings from putting that on. And this is where I am. I go up that road goes up, and I don't have the. I'd need a 4-wheeler or something to get up there. I don't know if there, or maybe there's a gate up there a little way. The utility company uses that to get to some power lines that come through. That looks great. Yeah, yeah. That was like $68. You know. You see several heads. There's this guy down here in the bottom. And there's somebody in his mouth. See, there's somebody's legs. There's their head. See this guy here. There's a guy here. There's a guy there. There's a guy there. There's that guy up there. That one up there. Big head. There's this guy in here. This guy there. Stand on the back of my. I gotta get a toolbox for back of my RV here. But see, there's even this figure in here. This one, tall one. So, woman. Yeah. I like that. 4-wheeler. And last time I was here, I parked closer to the fire pit, but the cows came by and they crapped on the fire pit. So but that's nice and dry. That's fire starter. That's fire starter right there. And I got to run the generator. I got a full can of gas. And if you get a 2-stroke engine, get instead of buying the little cans, you get this big old gallon of 2-stroke. It'll last a year. It'll last a year for my generator. I expect after I get my new charge controller that I'll have to very rarely use the generator. What do you got? What do you got? Sticks? You don't eat wood, Jack? So, okay. See, these clouds are real low right over there by the ski area. Hey! He's wrapping me up with his chain. You great dog. What are you doing, Jack? Smile. Smile. You got bad breath. You find something dead to eat, huh? Did you? Did you find something dead to eat? Did you? Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, I've wandered through all these woods over here and all over here, but you know, that's all extra, just exercise. Um, there's a. I'll go around this side so he doesn't get tangled up somewhere. Down the road here is where the totem is over there, but there are a whole bunch of big caravan of, see, there's a bunch of RVs came in and they're down there. RVs and horse trailers, and people just come set up with big parties here. Yeah. And you see there's, I don't know if you can see it. Whew. There's power lines running across there. That's why I said the utility company goes up that road for the power lines. But that's down where you camp just over to the right of where they are on the other side of that hill. But they probably got that all filled up with a bunch of them too. Yeah. That's gonna mess with people driving behind me. Yeah, going to the forest is a lot denser than you'd think. Yeah, than people that if you live in a city, I mean, you know, the city's all manicured and stuff. You get out here in the wilderness and it's pretty rugged and there's 1,000 hiding places. If you go 100 feet by 100 feet, there might be 30 holes that you could stick it in some of these spots, you know. And then some of the bushes you can't even get, you know. If you had to get in there to put the treasure there, you could do it. But you don't go into a big thicket of things. It might be in the middle of the thicket. It's the places that people don't look, you know, because it's too hard to get in. You know, I'm gonna get all scratched up going in there. And I look like some of the places you go through, and the dried tree branches are hanging in the way and stuff. And you go through and you break them off, but there was nothing broken off before you got there, so you can't figure, well, nobody's really been through here. Oh, with that rock is funny. It looks like a piece of chalk, but it's not. Yeah, Forrest pick up rocks and examine them and stuff. You know, was it a tool? Was it a cutting blade? You know, who knows? Yeah, I had to go down and go do a search, right? Yeah, I think I'm probably awake now. I'm a slow starter in the morning. It takes me a few 2 or 3 hours to get warmed up to do anything. Hey, there's that new bungee I just got. Thank you, Jack. Thanks, Jack. You know? Okay. Well, he's kind of using it to keep his cable from snagging on the mirror. Kind of stretch it across the mirror to up above so the cable wouldn't hang on the mirror. Now, where is he? I thought I saw him back here and his chain's over here. No, he's there. Right there. you doing, Jack? Stop it. Stop jumping up. I'm gonna step on your chain. That's backwards, right? So I'll show you what it really looks like. 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. It is. My phone's not telling me. It's only telling me I've been on here an hour and 40 minutes, and I think that's about enough. I talked about what I was going to talk about. Are you the master of live broadcasting? No. No, apparently Toby is. He's a professional. You know? Yeah. And Forrest should give someone else a chance to broadcast the thing. Because you can do it with a phone even. And you can broadcast it and edit later if you want, you know. But this is a nice spot here. And here comes some more Harleys going up the hill. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm about done. Ain't got nothing else to talk about right now. I'll think of something to talk about next time. Talk to you later.